This is the Detroit Sports Podcast Network.
Hey, my name is Vinny Stubbs, and I love elongated traffic stops. No, traffic stops.
I actually really like penises.
Oh, yeah, me too. Yeah, I'm Vinny
Erect
Stubbs.
is the best.
Welcome to the Vinny Stubbs Show. I'm Vinny Stubbs, DetroitSportsPodcast.com. You can follow me at Vinny Stubbs, VINNYSTUBBS. Dude, the Lions and Tigers are both nothing short of atrocious. This week has been very depressing. I don't know what they're going to do. The Lions' offensive line is brutal. Brutal. I don't know why my voice sounds like this. Hopefully it sounds better when it comes over. I don't know if it's going to. I had to go all the way to Shelby Township to do this podcast because my brothers would not leave my apartment. I kind of don't know who they think they are. I digress. The Detroit Tigers, 7 games back. Last time I did a show, I asked everybody in the city of Detroit if they thought that they were going to the World Series, and I look like an idiot. They're 65-59, and everybody just wants to start walking around now that I'm doing a show. I can't get away from this. It's total madness. All right, Tigers, 65-59. They're 7 games back. They're 4-6 in their last 10 games. 3 games under 500 away. Red Sox, 69-54. Dominant. They're dominant. Let's face facts, they're dominant. Orioles have a better record than us. Mariners have a better record than us. Astros are creeping up. And, I hate to break it to you, the Royals, they're back over 500. They're 64-60. I think that they're going to come back and get the wild card spot. It's going to bite us in the ass. Dude, what are we going to do? We got the Royals 6 more times. We literally have to go at least 5-1. In those 6 games, and we have Cleveland for 4. We should sweep them, but we're probably going to get swept by them. So we're not going to the playoffs. That's it. They did nothing at the All-Star break. I don't really have a problem with them not doing anything at the All-Star break because I don't know what they could have possibly done. I don't know what to say. I really don't know. There's people walking around as I'm trying to do a show. It's really out of control. So for the Tigers to go to the playoffs, guys, we have to travel to Minnesota for 3 for no reason. It's just randomness. We need to sweep them. And the Angels... we got to win 2 out of 3. And then we got the White Sox at home for 3. We have to win at least 2 of those. And we have to sweep Kansas City. We have got to make a statement on the road. And then we have to go back to Chicago to play the White Sox. I think the schedule's fairly easy in the month of September and early October. We have to take care of business within our division. If we have any prayer whatsoever of getting into the playoffs, I think Verlander's back to form. I think Fulmer's an absolute monster. But Boston just beat the living shit out of us. Porcello 17-3. Congratulations, Dave Dombrowski, for trading him away. I had a feeling he was going to be a monster. I predicted it last year when he was traded to Boston that he'd be a Cy Young contender. I was a year off, like I usually am. But now look. There's glaring holes all over this team. Miguel Cabrera's injured. Justin Upton couldn't hit a cigarette in a casino. The whole thing's shot. Nick Castellanos going down. Brutal. They can't score any runs. I think they scored like a total of 4 runs in Seattle. That broke my heart. You get swept by Seattle, then you go home and get swept by the Royals. Wow, really? Hey guys, I got a good idea. Let's win 8 games in a row and then come back and get swept by Kansas City at home. Oh, but we'll get swept by Seattle first on the road. I told you guys they couldn't play out west, and they can't. They just flat out can't win out west. They can't score runs. I know virgins that score more than them on the road. Something needs to be done. I don't know if you re-sign Brad Ausmus at this point. I don't see a reason why. I don't know how you take a World Series bound team and just flush it right down the toilet the way they have. Just flush it down the toilet. 4th in payroll in the MLB. I got a good idea, guys. Let's start losing. I don't understand. The season's not over. I'm just, I'm really pissed off. My brother got married yesterday. I was the best man. I thought I was going to mess up the speech. I really did. I'm really insecure about stuff like that. But I knocked it out of the park. I got to pat myself on the back. I was a stud. Everybody was just in love. They couldn't believe what was coming out of my mouth. I just took the crowd over one word at a time and just dominated like I usually do. God, I'm in love with myself. Everything I do is just perfection. Actually, I did pretty bad. I think they just felt bad for me, so they just applauded. Like, get this guy out of here. Oh, my God. All right, just clap. Go. What saved me is I was starting to freeze up like B-Rabbit on 8 Mile, and then this baby cried. And I was like, oh, then all of a sudden there's a baby crying when I'm talking. And I just won the crowd over. I think my brothers made fun of me like 500 times during the speech. I kept saying, I love you, man. My brother's like, dude, you said it like 500 times. But I do. He married a wonderful person. I don't think I'll ever find someone as great as my brother's wife. And then I got intoxicated, believe it or not. I had to take a Klonopin just to do the speech. And I don't condone drugs, but I didn't have a choice. My nerves were shattered. I was so frazzled, I didn't even know what to say. And I took a Klonopin and I waited 20 minutes and I drank a beer and voila, perfection. Perfection. I was going to start off talking about the Lions, but I got sidetracked. I don't know what the hell happened. I'll talk about them later. Jeez, oh, Pete's. Guys, 5 wins. 5. And I'm being nice. I keep going back and forth. 1 minute I got to win in 4 games. The next minute I got to win in 9. But I'll save it for the second half of the show. Good God. May the Lord have mercy on that team. Tigers, inept. They can't score runs, period. Score some runs. Please. Just score something. Can you put up 5 runs? I can't believe I actually look forward to Mike Pelfrey pitching, though. They need some drastic changes. Cabrera's not hurt anymore. I'm at this girl's house doing the podcast in her basement because my brothers won't leave the apartment. And you know how I had those people downstairs last week or 2 weeks ago? They just wouldn't shut up. I got this girl down here, and she's just making so much noise. I can't even do the show. Nah, I don't want to hear it. No, I'm just kidding. She's cool. I think. I'm not sure yet. All right, realistically, guys, I mean, the Red Sox are not going to slow down. The Orioles don't look like they want to slow down, even though they're in 3rd place out of nowhere. There's toilets flushing upstairs, and it's really rattling me. Okay, the biggest problem is the Royals are 4 games over 500. It's really scary what's going on there. I'm not happy with it. Some shit has got to change, and it's got to change now. September schedule is so easy. It's practically all in our division. Matter of fact, it really, honest to God, it is, with the exception of Baltimore and Atlanta in October. They have got to win these games. Kansas City for 3. They're 4 over 500. The White Sox, I mean, their team is in the toilet. Just flush it. They're 5 games under 500. Sweep them. Baltimore, they're going to beat our ass. Then you got 4 at home against Minnesota. You sweep them. Cleveland, 3 on the road. These are the games you have to win. Oh, they got 7 against Cleveland. See, we're 7 games back. I think we're 1-11 against them this year. So we got 7 games. Win 5 of those. And then just take care of business against the flunkies in the bottom half of our division. Maybe you'll find yourself a game and a half back. 2 games back, and then you play the Braves for 3. It's right there, guys. Just take it, please. We got to go to the playoffs. I'm not going to live another year of them not being in the playoffs. I mean, Ausmus, you're under contract. You guys didn't do anything at the All-Star break. Not that I really wanted you guys to, because there was really nothing there. But you go 14 games under 500 last year with a World Series bound team. World Series caliber. A World Series caliber team. 14 games under 500. Granted, your bullpen was in shambles, to say the least. I don't think I would re-sign Ausmus. It's so funny how I go 2 weeks ago, I'm like, are we going to the World Series, guys? I sound like an idiot. I sound like the rest of the guys on the radio. Coming up next, are the Tigers going to the World Series? I think they're going to. Call me crazy. Give us a call. I'm a fool for saying that. You guys shouldn't even listen to my show, even though I'm just out here dominating. How can you not win these games? Jesus. I don't know what we're going to do. I'm very depressed about the Tigers. I put my heart and soul into this team. For what? They don't even know I exist. I tried to get media credentials for them. Oh, give us a call back next week. I want credentials for those flunkies anyway. They should get credentials just to listen to my show. I took this girl to the Lions game the other day, because I'm a gentleman. We were late to the game. Got in there. Dan Orlowski's throwing pick sixes to a guy that's never even going to play in the Canadian Football League. Just running it back to the crib, 65-plus yards. I don't know how Jake Rudock is not the starting quarterback. It just blows me away. It's unreal. My week's been a car wreck. It really has been. They got people just talking in the background like I don't have a show going on. Anyway, yeah, I went to the Lions game when they played Cincinnati. They looked like the 2009 Detroit Lions. I don't know if I should talk about that now or just wait. She left her phone in my truck. She had some guy, 45 years old, calling my phone, trying to get her phone while I was at the AM station. And he literally tried to hold a conversation down with me for 5 minutes. I've never seen this guy in my life. I'm like, red flag, dude, everywhere. So anyway, he's coming to get the phone, and I don't know who this guy is. Well, he's driving from Shelby Township to the Hat Building where I work in Southfield at the AM station. AM 1160 WCX. So I got to get the hell out of there, first of all. Second of all, this guy calls my phone, and I'm playing oldies and stuff. I can't talk. He leaves me two-minute voicemails about this girl and where he's coming to get the phone at. And it doesn't make any sense. They were so good that I had to chop them up from AMR format and turn it into MP3. And I sent it to my email account. And I chopped it up and edited it. I'm so sick of this podcast. I'm done. I'm rattled. But this guy's a space cadet. He's like the Cable Guy. Remember the Cable Guy? The movie with Jim Carrey? He just won't leave that guy from Inspector Gadget alone. That's me. All right, well, I chopped it up for you guys to listen. Tell me what you think. You can send me a message on Twitter. Vinny Stubbs, VINNYSTUBBS. And just let me know what you think about this psychopath that just called my phone. I mean, I'm going to give you both of the voicemails. What's the guy's name? What's his name? Here's Darren for your listening pleasure. This shit is insane.
What's up, dude? Dude, I'm telling you, man. She's ringing full. To be honest with you, I have absolutely no idea what's going on. I just get stupid shit. She needs her phone back, but she shouldn't have lost it. And
no kidding.
I'm getting phone calls. I don't know what to do. I want to help her out, but then I call her phone, or her house phone, and her mom answers. And yeah, who is this? Who is this?
I don't know.
Hung the fuck up. So her family is. Anyways, I don't know what you know about her. I'm just a friend. I'm not a boyfriend. I'm not nothing. Be perfectly honest with you.
Fucking maniac.
A friend that's trying to help her out with her craziest family. And I guess, well, that was a bad situation, her leaving her phone. I don't know if she left it. I don't know what the hell happened. I don't care. But obviously she needs it back, and we got to figure out a way to get it back to her. So, I don't know. If you want to call me directly, I'm a cool guy. I have absolutely I'm not with her at all.
He's fucking
I'm
insane.
Just her friend, and I'm just trying to help her out. She's just got a crazy situation.
So do you.
I don't know. I'm trying to be a friend. I'm sorry, babe. Anyways, hope you have a good day, and give me a call if you have a chance.
Yeah, let me just call you back. Can you imagine someone left you a voicemail like that? You don't even know who he is. I almost called the police. This is like cable guy material. He left me another one. Hold on. Here it goes. I'll pot it up for you.
Hey, bud, I talked to you earlier about Rachel, and I was wondering, can I get her phone back, or what's going on?
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Messages from her saying, what did you say to him? I don't even know, what did I say something bad? I just spoke the truth, man. So, anyways, I don't want to drive all the way out there.
I don't want you to either.
Phone. And to be honest with you, man, just her friend. I've never had any relationships with her whatsoever. She's difficult. She's difficult. But I don't have anything else, so I play her game. So I don't know if you want to give me a call back. I'm not gonna. She needs her phone back.
No
so,
shit.
I mean, you have it. Can we just do it? Just get it over with?
No.
I don't know. Just, you tell me, man. I'm stopping at the store right now.
I'm telling you,
I
you're
got
fucking
a couple
insane.
phone calls back to make, but you're more than welcome to call me back. I just want to get this over with. I'm trying to take care of. I got to go out to Southfield. I got so much shit to do. But
you ain't doing shit.
If you're gonna be cool with this, you just tell me where to go and text me. Like address and shit. What recruiters is going on this weekend? Fuck. Oh well. Anyways, just let me know.
Well, what? What the hell would you guys do? This is the scariest voicemail I ever got, and I got 2 of them. What the hell's wrong with you people? I can't even enjoy a Lions game without dealing with repercussions. Like, I didn't do anything wrong. I got to worry about this maniac from AA coming to get the phone. This guy should be in prison. What the hell's he doing leaving me voicemails like that? Anyway, he never even came for the phone. I had to drive back and give her the phone. She lives like in another solar system. It took me like 2 hours to get here. I'm done. Jesus, man. I'm not allowed to do anything anymore. Hey, man. I'm not weird or anything, but do you think you can send me a picture of your wiener? That's normal, right? No. He didn't say that, but gee, he might as well have. Jesus. The hell? What was I talking about? The Tigers. Guys, we got to get down to the nitty gritty immediately. Start winning some games. Osmus, you're kind of on the hot seat. I kind of believe in you, dude. So let's get this together. I know the bullpen was never really fair for you. Blame Dave Dombrowski for that. Jesus, the Arizona Diamondbacks, 51-73. They're just 21-40 at home. That's all. 21-40 at home. I tell you, them and the Braves, what a treat. The Braves, once again, 45-79 with a 2-8 record in the last 10 games. 19-44 at home. Every week I'm just going to keep doing like new stats about the Atlanta Braves. All their starters got an ERA like north of 25. And they can pitch like 2 1/3 and they're done. I got a couple articles for the Detroit Lions. I'm going to read next, and I'm going to tell you about the preseason game and what I seen in Jonathan Matthew Stafford. We'll be right back on the Vinny Stubbs Show.
This is Rachel, and when I'm not dealing with drama on Wisteria Lane, I tune in live to the Vinny Stubbs Show on DetroitSportsPodcast.com.
Stafford, and this one is intercepted.
Now in the street there is violence, and a lot of work to be done. No place to hang out or washing, and I can't blame all on the sun. Oh no, we're gonna rock down to Electric Avenue. And then we'll take it higher. Oh,
we're gonna walk down to Lions Avenue. And Caldwell's getting fired.
Working so hard like a
Welcome back to the Vinny Stubbs Show.
Can't afford a thing.
I'm Vinny Stubbs. Call me crazy, but I think the Lions can win 15 games this year. Give us a call. I went to the Lions preseason game, like I stated earlier, against the Cincinnati Bengals. The Cincinnati Bengals. Man, if they had a better head coach, I think they'd be Super Bowl bound. But Marvin Lewis has been there since like 2005, and they just cannot win a playoff game. They're like the best team in football that can't win a playoff game. Eric Ebron, he didn't tear his Achilles, so thank God for that. But what did I say 2 weeks ago? Like, could you imagine if something happened to Matthew Mulligan? Like, who will we have? And guess what? Matthew Mulligan got hurt. So they trotted a tight end out there by the name of Cole Wick. You can't make this stuff up. Okay, anyway, I seen this article from theprideofdetroit.com. And they are Q&As. It says, who wrote this? Jeremy Reisman or Reisman? One of the two. I thought this was kind of an interesting article, to say the least. I'm a little hungover from my brother's wedding last night, so give me a break. Okay. Let's see what Jeremy has here. In case you missed it, we're right in the middle of a 5-part Q&A. Oh, so this is the second half of it. Let me just answer it for you. I don't even have to read this verbatim. Part 1, who's responsible for the Detroit Lions all-season turnaround in 2015? I'd have to say Jim Bob Cooter. Actually, really nobody, because when the games were on the line in the first half of the season, they started the season off 0-5, and then they fired, what the hell is his name? Lombardi. So they had Jim Bob Cooter come in. They had nothing to lose. They were garbage. I think they were 1-7. So they fire Lombardi. They have nothing to play for, and they trot out a flunky by the name of Jim Bob Cooter that's calling the plays for the offense. The games are meaningless. They just switched up. They got rid of the West Coast offense. They let Matt Stafford sling the ball around, and they finished the season off 7-9. That's brutal. They had like 7 nationally televised games, and they blew practically all of them. Rachel, can I see my phone? It's right next to you. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. Okay, so back to question 1. Who is responsible for the Detroit Lions offensive turnaround in 2015? Jim Bob Cooter. I would say a little bit of Jim Bob Cooter, and then I would have to give it to a guy that's no longer here by the name of Calvin Johnson. He's not here anymore. So you have 2 guys essentially trying to take over what one guy did last year. And in Anquan Bolden and Marvin Jones, who looks really good the preseason, by the way. Marvin Jones Sr. or Junior, I forget. I love how everybody comes to Detroit and all of a sudden they're a senior or a junior. Only in Detroit. You don't see that anywhere else. All of a sudden they're seniors and juniors. Okay, part 2 of this question. How much is Theo Riddick worth? I'd say a lot. I think he's going to have a substantial amount of carries in the backfield this year because Joique Bell's gone. I think Joique Bell averaged minus 10 yards per carry last year. No, realistically 3.1, which has to be the worst in the NFL. And he's cut. I don't even think he's on the team right now. Guys, I went to that preseason game against Cincinnati. Their offensive line might be the worst in the league. I think it's worse from last year. And how about Graham Glasgow being the third string center? I thought this guy was going to come out and make an impact immediately. I thought Bob Quinn knew what he was doing, and it doesn't look like that's the case. Graham Glasgow, third string center. Ashawn Robinson, fourth string tackle. He doesn't even exist. And Miles Killebrew, yeah, I don't know what the hell they're doing with that guy. Oh, by the way, Glover Quinn forgot how to tackle. I didn't see him making any hard hitting tackles while he was playing. He was hitting up high. He looked like Fernando Bryant mixed with Kenoy Kennedy. This team looks like it's from 2009. The basic fundamentals are out the door. Only a guy like Jim Caldwell can do this. Look at his track record. He's a million games under 500 at Wake Forest. I don't even know how he got into the NFL. You take the Indianapolis Colts, they go 14-2 to 10-6 to 2-14. Granted, Peyton Manning was out and Dan Orlovsky was in, but guess where Dan Orlovsky's at now? Detroit. They're gonna win 5 games, guys. They look bad. Stafford actually looks clutch. He looks good. The first week against Pittsburgh, he fumbled the ball at the 35-yard line. That was brutal. It's not necessarily his fault, but the guy's been here for 8 years. The offensive line's getting drastically worse. And I talk to people on the phone about it. They go, well, it's a young core. The game's won in the trenches. Matt Stafford's never had any protection whatsoever. I think this season's a wash. Just blow it up, seriously. Trade Stafford to a team like Dallas. Let this guy win some playoff games. It's done. I don't think Stafford sucks, but I don't necessarily think he's the answer here. The message is stale. 8 years, 7 years, it's done. Another thing, why is Jake Rudock the third string quarterback? I think the guy should be the second string quarterback. Dan Orlovsky is trash, and nothing against him personally. I just don't think he's a backup quarterback by any stretch of the imagination. What the hell was I going to say? I'm on the Pride of Detroit. I was reading through this thoroughly before I got on. It said something was the 2014 season a fluke. Okay, the thing is, we look back at Detroit records, 2015. Oh, here it is. The thing is, when you look back at Detroit's recent records, 2015 wasn't the fluke, 7-9. 2014 was 11-5. I don't think 2014 was necessarily a fluke because they had Ndamukong Suh. They had like the number 2 best defense in the league. I mean, granted, they came back a lot from behind and won games late, which it doesn't really matter because the year after they didn't do that because they were missing guys like Ndamukong Suh. You idiot. Glover Quinn's older. DeAndre Levy was actually playing. DeAndre Levy signed a 4-year contract 2 years ago. He's played 17 snaps since 2014. Beautiful signing, guys. I'm glad we retained Tahir Whitehead, even though his numbers were down a little bit last year. The defensive line was substantially weaker than the year previous. 5-11, maybe 6-10. With this easy-ass schedule, just blow it up. I feel bad for Terrell Austin. He really doesn't have much to work with. I mean, I'm watching the game, and Darius Slay, I was reading articles before they played Pittsburgh. He got burnt like 3 times by Antonio Brown. It's just like the basic fundamentals. Like you watch other teams, they tackle low, they like wrap up and hit you hard and hurt you. The Lions are like just missing guys they can't cover. They're getting blown away, and they're tackling high. Like, is this high school? Like, who teaches these guys to tackle like this? It's got to be Terrell Austin. Nothing against that guy. I just think he's a secondaries coach. The Lions were so close to building something, like, decent when they had Jim Schwartz. Like, they were dirty. Like, so what? They had an identity, and they were being talked about on TV all the time. Now there's nothing to talk about. What's Stafford going to do? He's heading into his 25th season. This should be the year. He's like Phillip Rivers. Anyway, back to Dan Orlowski. This guy's a train wreck. Dude, Dan Orlowski's so bad. Like, I walked into the game. I didn't get to see the starting team. I had to watch it on TiVo afterwards. But I walked in. The first thing I did when I walked in, first of all, the end zones, they're blue. Oh my God, they're brutal. It looks like arena football. I wouldn't even have went if the tickets weren't $6 a piece. Like, the tickets were so cheap. How could I not go? And we were late because of this person, this maniac I know. The parking was more than to get in the game. I'd rather have just sat in the parking lot. They got like this new technology for StubHub now. You just go on Flash Seats. It's an app, and it just gives you a QR scanner, and you just walk up to the people after like the TSA frisks you and ask you like a million questions before you walk into the stadium or the dome, and they just scan your QR scanner right from your phone, and it prints like these third world tickets up out of a machine. It's kind of scary. Yeah, Jake Rudock should definitely be the backup quarterback. The guy's got mobility like crazy. He's not a very good passer, but he's got heart. And this lady will not stop singing in the background while I'm trying to do a podcast. She's messing me up. Last week it was the neighbors. Now it's another maniac that I know. Yeah, Dan Orlowski's done. I don't know how this guy continues to play in the NFL. I just don't get it. I don't know who number 33 is from Cincinnati. I got to look it up. The white running back. I don't care if it was the second or third team or not. I'm nuts. Thanks a lot for the text message, guys. I'm nuts. Breaking news, Vinny Stubbs is crazy. We know this. Okay, 33 Cincinnati Bengals. It's going to give me like the roster from 1933. Rex Burkhead, running back, 5'10", 210 pounds from Nebraska. Dude, he made our team look like total flunkies. I couldn't believe it. I don't even know who this Burhead guy is. He was making the team look like Mo, Larry, and Curly were in the backfield. I mean, just blowing guys away. Every time I looked up at the screen, he's hitting Bader. At least a gain of 18 yards each carry. I'm like, this guy is like godsend. He's like Corey Schlesinger 2.0 with like a hint of Zach Zenner and Jesus. I mean, this guy was just phenomenal. Hopefully this guy gets a spot on the roster. I wish the Lions had him. I love how teams can just like turn nobodies into something because they fit a scheme. The Lions just never had a scheme. They never will. I'm convinced they just never will. Something's got to be done. Can't believe that guy left me that voicemail. What a maniac. I can't get over it. Okay, so Eric Ebron, I'm going to go to the Detroit Free Press. Dave Burkett, the guy's a stud. Love the guy. Oh, by the way, the Lions lost that game 30-14. You can't put too much... You can't invest too much in the preseason, but that's definitely an eyesore to say the least. Let me scoot my laptop in a little bit closer. Eric Ebron still hasn't given a clear timetable in his return from his ankle injury he suffered for more than 2 weeks. But the third-year tight end is starting to show signs of improvement. I mean, how do you get worse? Like, you've got to show some signs of improvement. You're headed into your third year. 10th overall pick. Guy couldn't catch herpes. Come on, let's get it together. And you know what's really sad is I'm glad he didn't tear his Achilles, but it makes him look 10 times weaker that he just had a sprain. And he like just laid on the turf for like an hour before he got up, and you couldn't even put any weight on it. Just from spraining his ankle. That like speaks volumes of how tough this guy is. And I know I've been seeing videos of him working out the entire offseason, and he's built like a brick shit house, but I mean, come on, dude. A little bit of contact and you get wild? It's insane. Ebron did not take part in today's hour-long practice. This is Sunday, by the way. By the time you hear this, it'll be Sunday night or Monday morning. So this would have been yesterday. He's walking through blocking drills for the first time since he hurt his ankle August 6th. After practice, he jogged across the field and spent a few minutes catching balls from a jugs machine. Oh, great. Before today, Ebron had not run or caught passes publicly since he was carted off the field. Oh, God. Yeah, in the mock game. And Matthew Mulligan's down, too. Like I said for the 80th time in this podcast. Asked after Thursday's preseason loss to the Cincinnati Bengals how close Ebron is to returning, Lions coach Jim Caldwell said, oh, go figure. He's getting better. Like, give an answer, dude. Your team's inept. Say what's on your mind. You're signing guys that are pulling out guns and clubs that played for Green Bay and caught like 4 balls his entire life. Like, give us like a more definitive answer. Can we have a timetable, please? Ebron's expected to miss his 3rd straight exhibition game. Great. No practice. When the regular season hits, shambles. He's going to be dropping a lot of balls. Why am I seeing Dan Orlowski's name just like on like a page, period? Like, please, go away. Go play for the Montreal Alouettes or the Grand Rapids Rampage where you belong. What do you guys think about those blue end zones? I mean, are those brutal or what? And they got to get rid of those black outlining in their uniforms and their helmets. Oh, my God. They're so brutal. And I love how the blue in the end zone and the line in the center of the field doesn't match the uniform itself. It's like got a different shade. It's like a little lighter. Come on, let's get it together here. I would like to give this running back, Dwayne Washington, some kudos for striking pay dirt twice. But I have a feeling that we're never going to see this guy in a regular season game. So can Justin Upton hit the ball? Tigers beat the Red Sox today 10-5. Oh, Justin Upton, blast, power. Here's a headline, Anthony Fennick. Justin Upton's blast power. Tigers pass Red Sox 10-5. Oh, so we got that one. All right, well, you stick a gun up to my balls in an alley, I tell you the Lions are going to go 6-10 at best. I'm sorry. That's just how I feel. I think they should blow this team up, and we need a new head coach, new coordinators. We got the new GM. The sky's the limit, but not this year. I'm going to start putting more of my effort into the Tigers and just watch the rest of the month of September and see how things go. I'm ready for the Pistons. I'm ready for the Pistons. A lot of people got laid last night at my brother's wedding. It was beautiful. I'd like to give a round of applause to my new brother-in-laws. It was beautiful. It really was. Guys, I'm really tired. I'm going to edit this podcast and send it to you. You can hear this podcast every Sunday. DetroitSportsPodcast.com. I'm going to try to avoid people that leave me insane voicemails. At least I don't have to deal with any maniacs downstairs for this episode. I feel real lackadaisical today. I just want to sleep. That's it. I drink so much that I can't even focus. Let's be honest, I can't focus at all. I have the attention span of a 5-year-old. What the hell? Let's see what the Lions are playing next in the preseason. I think it's Buffalo. Lions preseason. Lions. Ooh, Vinny. Who are they playing? Rachel, do you want to look it up? She's acting like she can't hear me. I know she can. Oh, they're number 1 in passing yards for the preseason. Baltimore. At Baltimore. So we're going to see probably about 5+ drives from Matt Stafford. That ought to be fun. Matt Stafford to Colwick for 5 yards. Oh, they're going to challenge it. Ruling on the field. Incomplete. Lions charge timeout. Lions lose. I almost bet the Lions were favored. They're -2.5 against Cincinnati, and I'm so sick and I'm so ready for football that I almost put money on the Lions to cover that 2.5. Or wait, just to win outright. But I didn't because I'm not an idiot. But I kind of am. But I didn't do it. I'm ready for the Pistons. 5th seed. Let's go. Let's dominate. This person that I'm talking to is a complete maniac. Just got people calling my phone, saying outlandish things. Hey, man, what are you doing? I'm not crazy, am I? Do you think I'm crazy? I don't know, dude. I can't talk to you. It's a voicemail. Give us a call. All right, for real this time. I'm going to go, guys. Thank you for listening to the show. Tell your friends. You can follow me on Twitter at Vinny Stubbs, VINNYSTUBBS. Once again, that's VINNYSTUBBS. The show comes out every Sunday. DetroitSportsPodcast.com. You can listen to all their shows. They got Hindsight 20, Doc and Jock, Fantasy Nerds, Jason Jarvie, the Motor City Sports Rant, Churko and Company. Churko's a beast, dude. Everything that guy says is just flat knowledge. He knows more than anybody that I listen to on the radio. This dude is a stud. I'm intimidated by this guy. I would love to meet him. I would just hide in shame. Dude, you're the smartest dude I've ever met in my life. Everything the guy says is just pure, just sheer genius. Guy needs a job immediately on the FM. He's a stud. He really is. What other shows are there? Oh, there used to be a show with a girl, but I think she quit. I forget. I didn't listen to that show anyway, so I don't really care. But everyone listens to this show, and that's a fact. I have to edit this out. It's going to be so brutal. I have to do the show, then I have to edit it. This girl just redid my resume and my cover letters. That's right. You're going to redo more stuff, too. You don't worry about it. Everybody's like, that girl records longer than you, bro. And then she quit. What? Do you want to tell everybody who you are? You don't have to say her full name. Don't do that. But, yo, dog, my name's Rachel. I live in Shelby Township. Rachel. Yes. Yeah. You feel me? My next podcast is going to be much better. I'm really insecure right now because I'm in front of a girl doing a podcast, just sitting here talking to myself. She doesn't know how many people I actually reach out to. I think she'd be flabbergasted if she actually found out. That's another thing. I walked into Ford Field the other day. There was, dude, I know you, bro, from somewhere. I'm like, yeah, Facebook probably. I had to change. I had to delete everything on my Facebook except for the podcast stuff and sports stuff because everyone's so offended by everything that I post. Like, yeah, you're not gonna be able to get a job if you're yourself. I'm like, what's it for? It's like Facebook is they brainwash you into thinking that's the way you're supposed to be. So everyone's on their phone 24/7 like a robot. And you put a status up how you really feel, and everyone's like, that's not politically correct. Take it off. You're wrong for speaking your mind. It's like a form of hypnotizing you, and at the same time taking away your freedom of speech. It's insane. But I'm addicted to it. I go on it 24/7. It's the first thing I do when I wake up. You know how you used to wake up and urinate in the morning? I wake up and go on my Facebook, and then I urinate. All right, I'm probably creeping everybody out. What do you think, Rachel? Are you creeped out? You are? This girl's a genius. She's the vice president of some building company. She always used to she uses big words around me I know what she's talking about. I already did everything today. Everything's been breached. I did a conference call earlier with a webinar from a guy from India named I don't even know what the hell she's talking about half the time. I just go, yeah, sure. I'm not even listening, but she thinks I am. All right, I got to go, guys. I got to get some sleep. I'm going to edit this podcast. It should be up. You can hear it every Sunday. DetroitSportsPodcast.com. 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 Thank you for listening, guys. Tell your friends. You can listen to this every Sunday. You can listen to every show. Just come on, DetroitSportsPodcast.com, please. We're looking for sponsors, too. So let's get it together. Let's dominate. Go Tigers. Go Lions. And take the Grand Rapids Rampage with you. That just about does it. All right, guys. See you.